Welcome back to the shop, everyone. As you can already see, I've got some of the interior back on the car. And if you've been paying attention to the channel, this wasn't in a previous video, so this just mysteriously all happened. This past weekend I was just working on the car and I was actually enjoying not having the camera on me, just kind of puttering around doing whatever I wanted to do. So I got the door panel in, I got the armrest in, I also put the center console back in the car. But what happened is this armrest is not installed correctly, missing the screw up here. All of the push pins for the door panel are actually wrong. I bought some just off of Amazon and it didn't work out all that well. The screw for my mirror up here, it's wrong. I didn't have a lot of that hardware. So fortunately, I called up a company in Alberta called Western Motorsports, and they actually had this late model restoration hardware kit in stock. And were able to get it out to me. I ordered it, I think, on Tuesday, so it's Thursday night, so I got this in 2 days. Whereas had I actually ordered this from the States, probably would have been end of next week I might have had it, maybe. So this is going to be part number LRS-23944HDW, and this is specifically a 81 to 86 door panel installation kit. Now, as I said, it was kind of nice just doing some work in the car without the camera, but when I was installing these armrests, I realized that something wasn't right. And I did some Google searching, I tried to figure out how these are supposed to properly install, and I couldn't really find a good video on how this actually mounts and how this is supposed to work. I did find this hardware kit. There was an installation with the hardware kit, but it didn't give me the view that I wanted. And that's why I kind of started this channel up and did some of the instructional stuff that I've been doing, is so that people can actually see exactly how this stuff works and I can kind of walk through it and talk through it. So that's what I'm going to do with this hardware kit. We'll get this opened up. Maybe I'll just throw it out on the floor. Then we'll get all this old stuff pulled off, and then we'll go through how this is actually supposed to install, and you'll actually see how this is all supposed to work. Okay, so here is our hardware kit. I do love LMR's instructions. It shows you exactly where each piece goes. So we've got the push pins, we've got door belt weather strip screws, which are up on the inside. So I'm guessing that's for the weather stripping on the inside of the door panel. I think I do actually have new weather stripping, so I might be able to do that. So we've got the interior handle door bezel screws, which is super awesome because I do have the plastic for that still, so I can put that back on. Door lock and power window switch covers, which is going to be down here. I don't have any of that stuff in the car anymore, so don't need that. So this is kind of what I'm interested in. This upper door arm rest nuts, the lower door arm rest nuts. That was the piece that I didn't get a good video on. The Phillips head armrest screws, where's that G? Yeah, so that's going to be going into these upper door arm nuts. And then we've got the large head armrest anchor screws. So yeah, it says E and F speed nuts are installed on sheet metal. So let's just go through this real quick, I suppose. So D here is going to be the power window door switch cover screws. Not going to use these. J, that is my... So I'm guessing J is actually the screws for the power windows. Which is not shown here because I don't have power windows. So yeah, I'm guessing J is actually the screws for the handles on my manual windows. So we'll get into that as well, even though it's interesting it doesn't show it on the kit anywhere. That's pretty cool, actually. So this is I. So these are a couple of screws for some, I guess. I guess we'll have to figure that out. G. So that's my, okay, so these are my armrest screws. So these go in the top there. Those are the armrest top nuts, E, I'm assuming. Interesting here that CH. So interior door handle bezel screw. So those are the interior door handle bezel screws, which are up here. These seem pretty long. I would almost expect those to be this G. G is Phillips head armrest screws. Yeah, interesting. I mean, it is what it is. We'll figure this out. Go through it together. A, push pins for the door. B, those are the screws for the weather stripping. And then these right here, F, is what I was really interested in and needing. And that's for the armrest. So let's quickly rip through pulling this door off. I think it's 10mm bolts for the armrest, and then it's just a bunch of these push pins, so I can just pull the door off and those will just pop out. All right, so just ripping this off, we got a 10mm under here. I believe it's 10mm, yeah. Now, the bolts that are in here are the correct bolts for this armrest, but the way it mounts into the door is very wrong. That's the 87 to 93 mounting style, I believe. And so I'll show you that here. Yeah, it wrong. Come on. Yeah, okay. I was able to just brute force it out. I knew it wasn't right, so I wasn't too worried about that. But you can already kind of see how wrong this is. Well, actually, no, you probably can't. So I'll show you here. You know what, let's get this all off and then I'll show you why this is wrong. All right, let's get into the heart of this problem. In this armrest, these bolts come from the bottom and then up and through at this pretty aggressive angle, okay? So looking at the hardware that I have in the door here, this sits flat. So there, maybe that. So yeah, you can kind of see now how, like, with this armrest sitting flat, like that's not going to go in there straight, right? This wants to go in there like this, but the way the armrest is set up, it's at an angle like this. So that's where these clips come in. So I believe this is going to clip into the door somehow. Let's pull this old junk out. So I believe this old setup is for an 87 to 93 because the way the armrest mounts changed. So let's pull that out, and then I think this is going to clip in here just like that. And so now, hopefully you can understand, or I'm sure you can understand this, but now this is going to thread into the bottom of this, just like so. Hopefully. I mean, this is the old, you know what, if this was in the door, this might be for an 87 to 93. Let's check out the new hardware. No, the new hardware looks pretty much the same. Yeah, new hardware is the same. So I'll just take some threading. Oh, hey, look at that. It just went in happier. Maybe it's a different thread pitch. I don't know. It seemed to be a bit happier. It's a different thread pitch. I mean, it seems pretty similar. Yeah, I think it's all the same. I don't know. Whatever. It was kind of happy to go in. So we'll use the new hardware, no big deal. Yeah, so that goes there. So I'll pop this one out. And we'll throw another clip in. So same thing, I want this angled up so that the armrest will mate up to it, right? So just like that, both of these will now angle up into there properly. So if I get you back nice and close here. On the back here, this comes up like that, and it sits very, very nice. Like, it actually sits super, super nice. Just like that. Okay, so with that, we also have kind of the same thing, just where is it gonna be? If that's gonna sit there, that'll go there, I suppose, right there, right? That'll bolt into there, tighten up, yeah. So right here is another one, and that's gonna be this part E here. So that goes just like that. And then that will all angle up quite nicely. Perfect. So yeah, super happy about that. So the next thing to do is get the new push pins onto the door panel, get the door panel lined up and installed, and then we can put the armrest back on properly. We can put this bolt in properly up here for the mirror adjustment. We can also do the door. I'll go grab the trim. We can do the handle. So yeah, let's just get this all put back together. So here we have the door pad. This is actually very easy to work with. Now this is a super old one, so the backing pad's kind of messed up. And these were definitely not the right pins for this, so I kind of had to modify them and make them work, and not too happy about that, but it would have been good enough if the armrest had been right. So, as hopefully you can kind of see there, the process was just to slide it from the small hole to the big hole, and then you can just kind of pull it out. That one's kind of completely broken in there, so we'll just kind of hide it and it's fine. It won't rattle around or anything. But let's see if I can get this guy out of here. Perfect. Okay. Got ahead of myself. There we go. Okay. So, got a bunch of these. 25 pieces in here. So these are just super simple to install. Put them in the big hole, slide it up to the small side. Except this door panel is a little beat up, so the metal in there is a little bit not where it's supposed to be. So we can just kind of manipulate it a little bit. Can you see what I'm talking about? No, you cannot. Okay, so let's just push this back a little bit, angle up a little bit. Okay, so the metal piece here is just a little bent out of shape. So with a pair of pliers, I can just kind of get in there, I kind of bend it till it's more agreeable to putting the push pin in and sliding that up. There we go. So yeah, so the way this works, the head slides into the big hole, and you just slide it over to the smaller side, and that's it, it's locked in. You know, considering how old these door panels are, they're actually in fairly decent shape. Nothing majorly wrong with them. I mean, I do need to redo the felts and stuff. Okay. So installing the door panel isn't difficult. It just sometimes might take a little bit of time, a little bit of patience, a little bit of maneuvering. So you gotta kind of get the window or the mirror adjuster kind of up and out of the way a little bit. This ledge here, this edge here will kind of hook over top of it. And then you've got all the push pins that have to push into the holes. So you got to kind of get it up like this inner lip here goes up and over, hooks down, and then you kind of fold it down into the inside. So up and over, you might have to push on the top. Also, most cars will have the lock to deal with. As you can see, I do not. Yeah, so that lip's gonna go up and over. You're gonna you would get it lined up with your lock. You might have to give it a bit of a push to get it seated in place. And then you can also kind of line this up with, there we go, so that's down. It's gonna have to come back, there we go. So you can kind of get it lined up with your door. You can get it lined up with all of your armrest pieces now. And then you can kind of take a look in the back here to make sure you're all lined up with the hole. There you go. Push those pins in all the way around. You might have to play with a little bit. Yeah, so this isn't fully over that lip. So I actually gotta kind of pull this up, push it in. Is that in? No. Okay. This can be a bit of a frustrating process, especially when you gotta come back and the push pins pop out of the board. Okay, so let's not try to pull any more of those out. Okay. Lift it up. There we go, I think. Yeah, there we go. Okay, all those are going in nicely. Okay, so it does take a little finagling. I think that just popped onto the wrong side, didn't it? Yeah, that's not really as tight up as I would like. Yeah, Yeah, that did not pop over that ledge. All right, so we're gonna try this again, but maybe what I'll do is I'll try and get the front on first, because it seemed like that was really where I was having the difficulty. See, doing the front first. I don't know if you kind of heard or saw that, but it all just kind of sat down real nice. And then the back is not perfect. Oh, there we go. Okay, so I don't know how well you can see that, but that is just sitting on there like money now. Go down, I should be able to pop that in where it goes. Yep. All of that stuff's lined up. That's very happy. Where does that push pin go? Oh, it goes up a little bit, I guess. Oh, maybe that's why. Maybe this top push pin was actually what was causing all the problems. So let's pull this out. So with that in its right place, all this seemed to be not happy. It's just, that's in. Let's just go around from this side, lock it all in. Okay. We are locked in. That is a much happier position. That's all happier. I mean, I don't think it gets any better than that. Okay. So let's put some hardware in here. So CH with our 10 millimeters. And of course, I'm gonna drop it. Really kind of annoys me you can't see, or I can't see what you're seeing. Okay, yeah. So I don't know if that's any better an angle, but that's just the perfect angle for this arm pad. That's exactly what it's supposed to be. Front and back. That of course came out of the door for some reason. It's fine, we'll just drop that down. That'll go back in. Okay, so if we look at this E, yep, E and G. So technically, these are the guys that are supposed to go in there. Huh, okay, so why is that metal piece not sticking in the door like it's supposed to? That is frustrating. So what's interesting is this goes through, it threads through, and then it actually threads through the back as well, which I'm assuming spreads this and kind of keeps it locked into place. So what I might have to do is, like, I kind of assumed this would be bent enough. Like, I assume this would be bent out enough that I could, you know, put it in the door. And it would just kind of lock itself in there without having to be fully screwed in, or bolted in, I should say. But here we are. Feels a lot better. Let's just get this guy tightened up. Yeah, she's tight there. That is solid. Okay, what did we say? We're doing G. So this guy, in here. These clips are actually kind of sucking. I mean, they are the right clips. I mean, maybe I'm the one doing something wrong, but I don't think you can really screw up throwing that in there. You know, I almost feel like these are the screws for this. Well, let's just go grab that handle real. So it claims that this is supposed to be in here, but that does not sit nicely. Whereas this sits very nicely. So yeah, they got these backwards for some reason on the instructions. So G, it's a bit of a shorter one, is actually supposed to be for the door handle, and C and H go here in the armrest. So they got the instructions a little messed up, not a big deal. We can figure that stuff out. So this comes out of here. So this here is G. Well, it's labeled as G. But yeah, so oops, you can kind of see one's way longer. So this one will again go into the back of that little bracket and kind of spread it out and hold it in. This guy is clearly for the inside of that door handle. There is no way that that is supposed to be protruding like that. So, no big deal. We can figure this stuff out on our own. Just because there's instructions and things are labeled does not mean that it's labeled correctly. So let's swap that out for this. Yeah, butter. Oh, that's solid. I love it. Love it, love it, love it. Okay, these things are filthy, so I'm gonna clean these up before I put them on. And it looks like they are gonna be different side to side, maybe? Oh, maybe not. No, that'll just go on. That'll be fine. Okay, but I do want to clean these up. While I'm here, I can grab J for the handle. Slide that guy back on. I'm hoping this is for the handle. Nope. That does not work. Nope, 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 nope. I'm not going to force that thread on. I know that, well, seems like it's the same thread. Why is it not threading on? Is it a different size? No, it seems like it's the same size and thread. I'm not liking this. Nope, don't like it, don't force it, don't do it. Don't be an idiot. Even though you are an idiot, don't be an idiot right now. Just grab your old one, the one that works. Slam that on there. Just put it in. Just put her on home. It works. Don't mess with it. Done. We're good there. Okay, that screw, what did we say that is? That is, we didn't really say that was anything, did we? Normal leather interior door handle, headrest, Phillips head armrest screws, interior door handle bezel screws. Okay. I thought I had some extra stuff. Okay. So that goes with that. G is for the doors. J is Fucht. Ah, yes, right here. So this guy is going to go right here. Look, oh so nice. See how that screw is just nice and recessed in there? Maybe you can't see all that well. Yeah, so right here, the screw I just put in, it's nice and flush, no issues. I'm going to clean up the handles here real quick off camera, and then we'll quickly throw that in. But then this door, other than this big hole here, is complete. Man, this handle is solid. Okay, let's throw this interior door handle on. So first things first. No, that's not the right way. Okay, so that's got to go over like there we go. Yep. Does that really matter? I don't think that matters all that much. Then all you got to do is just lift the handle, slide that kind of up and over, get your foam backing piece nice under there. Okay. And then we are going to grab our, what was it, E? Because I messed it up. Where is it? There, G. We're gonna grab G. Even though they claim that G goes here, it does not. G goes here, at least in this kit. They may have packaged it wrong in this kit, and that's okay. That just simply goes through there. Tighten it. You do not have to crank on this, okay? It just has to be snug. Like, you know, if you keep cranking, you're just gonna break the plastic, and it's just not needed. So just snug it up, and then make sure the window goes up in case something got messed up. Like, it's actually getting really tight up the top. I don't know if that's a good thing or not, but why is it getting so tight? Oh, it's because this felt is all broken. Yeah, so because that felt is broken, it was actually getting bound up. Now that I pulled that chunk out, it goes up. Okay. So there we have it, an installed door. If I had powered door locks or power windows, is that the power windows or the power door locks? I don't remember, but if I had that, you know, there would be a piece here for that. I don't have that obviously, so I'm not worried about it. Let's just do the same on the other side. Let's get to it. Alrighty folks, that was us installing the LRS-23944HDW, the 81 to 86 door panel installation kit with the mirror retention screw as well. So as I mentioned, as I was going through this, the instructions are a little bit messed up. They did mess up a couple of the letters, which is not a huge deal. The one bag that was labeled, I think it was like C and H, had the armrest hardware, even though they said that one of the screws was supposed to go in the door handle plastic here. So just using a little bit of common sense, was very quickly able to figure out that no, they just had those two labels backwards, either in the instructions or when they labeled the bag. Doesn't really matter. We got it figured out, we got it installed. And so all the tools needed was a pair of pliers. I use this little body plastic remover tool, whatever you want to call it. Snap-on part number A179A. I had to use a Robertson screwdriver for my window crank, but the reality is that should just be a Phillips screwdriver for, I think, most people. This is a Phillips. This is a Phillips. So you know, Phillips screwdriver, and then a 10mm socket for the two big bolts in the armrest, and then this is a Phillips screw right up here in the top of the armrest. So yeah, that's it. Panels installed. Obviously I don't have this filled in. I don't have the mat pocket installed. Don't care, that's fine. But that's it. Install on that hardware kit. Nice and easy. So yeah, as always, if you stuck around this long, I'd like to thank you for viewing. We'll see you in the next one.